us. We just want to make sure that we're not having any echoes. What's up, Karina? Karina said hello from Boston.
Oh, hey.
All right, I'm going to turn my mic up a little. I'm not sure how loud it is. Gianna with a J said hi from Chicagoland. All right, Karina said
Oh,
that she can hear us. Thank you, Karina. All right, no echoes. Do we both sound like the same level?
the same level. So I need
Oh,
to.
so Tamsin said hi. Tamsin from Wellington, New Zealand. Oh my goodness, New Zealand. That's so
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Oh, Gianna said no
Welcome.
echoes, even level. Okay, the closed horse said sounds good. Jan Sorrel said yes, everything sounds great. Oh, we did it.
Yay.
All right, so we're good to go. Our mics are good. We're gonna have to do a few mic checks today because we're gonna do some new things. Colby Alley, first time in chat, what's up? Said hi from North Carolina.
Oh, hey. Good to have you here.
Two Purple Shoes said hi. And okay, so remember last week, I said, I promised that I was gonna try to get live captions. I'm gonna try to do live captions this stream. Starting right now, I just realized I think that I had to like click something to activate it. And y'all will have to kind of help me to let me know if it's working. So I'm gonna click it now. I'm using this thing. Actually, I'm gonna share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. If anyone's interested in live streaming and how captions on here would work. What's up, Robodom? Robodom said hello. Hope everyone is doing
Yay.
well. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Co-stream. All right, here we go. I'm using something called Stream Closed Captioner by Talk to Me Gooseman. Todd Libby was the one who recommended this to me. It's a Twitch extension. I have it turned on. I think I just need to click here and put click to start captions. Oh, and then look, that's so cool. I actually there's like a little bot. I don't know what they're called. I guess a comment bot or something that just says stream closed captioner in our chat, which is cool. It said, "Hey Africa Kenya, here's your friendly reminder to turn on stream closed captioner," and they have something on here where you can select it and it'll send, because it's connected to my Twitch, it'll send me a message anytime I start streaming to remind me to click it on. So I'm going to click it on here, click to start captions.
That's
And
cool.
I know, I don't know if it's working, but I'm going to go over to my Twitch and pull it up. It's going to be like Inception right now, seeing the chat up or whatever. All right, here we are. Well, is it working? Does anyone see anything? Oh, maybe this is it right here. Oh, it's like an infinity screen. Oh my goodness. This is awful. I'm sorry for anyone who's seeing this. I'm going to stop doing this. I feel like that's kind of dizzying. All right, I think it's working. I saw something working. Let me make us big so you're not seeing everything. Okay. Let me look at, I don't see any captions, recursion, not seeing anything yet. Okay, so I think if you look, because I can see it on mine, if you look in the right corner, like hover over the actual chat, there's like this purple box that says stream captioner. If you click on that, let's see, if I click on it, I can put visible. I don't know. Maybe it's not working. Oh no. Add to my
Hmm.
channel? I don't know. Let's see. I think I have it configured correctly. Well, it's popping, like a little thing for me to click on is popping up, but nothing to like actually. All you have to do is install, go to CS Gooseman Codes and click on. I'm gonna do this for one more minute for the sake of just trying it. You tried clicking visible and nothing's happening over here. All right, so yeah, you see the CC box. I'm gonna go back to sharing just for fun. If anyone wants to watch me do this, and I'm gonna try for 1 minute, then I'm gonna kind of move on so that we can stay on topic about screen readers. All right. So this is where it's telling me to go. Stream captioner configure. I don't know. Visit here. Did that already. Get started. All right, it says that it's available to turn on. I got that. Click to start captions. Caption settings. Choose a language. Maybe it's because I didn't do that. Save. Automatically turn off. Display. I don't know. I don't want to hide anything. Oh, you think you have to install it? That wouldn't make any sense. I actually saw someone using it today live and it worked. So I think I have to mess around with this and figure out how to make it work. I guess it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I apologize about that. We'll have it ready by next time, hopefully. We'll see. I'll probably do a test stream and ask some people from Discord to just help me out and see if they can see any of these as I'm doing it. But I appreciate your patience. Now you know of an option. We'll see if it works next week. All right, back to the matter at hand. Welcome, yes, everybody, to the stream. Thank you for being here. Seriously, I think this one's going to be a really fun one. We're talking all about screen readers, and we're all going to at least try to download one and use one together. And we're going to watch Dorlin use her screen reader to go through some websites, including this is her digital coming out party. We're going to see her on LinkedIn, and we're going to mess around on LinkedIn with the screen reader. If Dorlin's still down, we'll see how she feels in like 30 minutes when we get to it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with the PowerPoint. And if you're going to say something, Dorlin, go for it.
I don't remember what I was going to say, but I'm excited for today too, because screen readers are fun and, well, also very useful primarily, but I'm excited that we're going to talk about them today. Yeah, got all sorts of them. We're going to show off most of them.
Yeah, I think so. We're going to do, I think, all the major ones.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, I don't have a talkback sample, the Android screen reader that's built into most Android devices now. But we have VoiceOver for iOS. We've got VoiceOver for Mac. We've got JAWS. We've got NVDA and Narrator.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry, I lost my window. I have too many up.
That's fair. I can keep rattling on about screen readers to buy time. You just let me know when.
Oh no, my deck stuff is showing up. I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. Okay, I found it.
All right.
Slideshow. All right, on the screen it says using a screen reader. And there's a picture of a woman sitting at a desk. It looks like she's at work. Her hair is in a nice ponytail. She has a denim shirt on, and I'm guessing that's her guide dog in the back because you can see the little harness with the handle. And I'm assuming that she's also using a screen reader because when I Googled screen reader, this is what popped up. And I guess because she has a guide dog, that's probably her guide dog back there, and this is why they put that picture up there. All right, so this is an overview of what we're working on today. We're going to talk about what a screen reader is. We're going to kind of get into the weeds about what it is. We've never really talked about it, I don't think, but we're going to talk about accessibility APIs and how they work with different operating systems and web browsers. We're going to talk about who uses a screen reader because it's a little bit more people than I think most people think use a screen reader. We're going to talk about the types of screen readers and hopefully get to see at least a small example of most of them. The only thing we're probably not going to show you today is Android because we don't have Android phones. We're going to talk about why you should test with a screen reader, which will probably be covered in what is a screen reader. And then we're going to actually test a website with a screen reader. And we're going to do that using JAWS with Dorland, JAWS and NVDA. All right. Before we move on, I'm going to read some of the messages in the chat. If this is your first time joining us, first of all, thank you for joining us. But if it's your first time, usually I'm pretty verbose when it comes to the chat. I read all of them out loud so that Dorland can hear what everyone's saying, and for anyone who can't see the screen if they're watching us later. And that's also why if I have pictures, I kind of try to describe them in nice detail. You know, something we never do that Hulda D, when she was here, she did it. And I was like, we should do that more often, is describe what we look like and like where we're at in our surroundings. So maybe Dorland, do you want to start with that? And then I'll read some of these comments.
Sure. Well, so let's see. I am white woman with brown hair that's pulled up into like a messy bun with headphones on. So I don't even know if you can see the bun. And then I've got I think it's a green flannel shirt on. Someone called me a lumberjack girl earlier today.
It's like green and blue. Oh,
green
no,
and blue
flannel. Yeah.
It is flannel. Yeah. It's warm and cozy. And then I also have a necklace on that has a bronze pendant on it that has Braille written on it. It says read on it. And I don't know what my background is, to be honest with you. I think it's probably white walls, perhaps.
Yeah.
But I'm in Maryland in the US.
Nice. Robodom said, very nice. Very cool attire. Hulda D code said, cool necklace. Robodom also said, I had no idea accessibility APIs are a thing. Two Purple Shoes said, I'm using VoiceOver on my phone with Apple's wireless keyboard. Ooh, Two Purple Shoes, are you using VoiceOver for the first time on your phone, or are you a VoiceOver user? Hulda D code said, yay, screen readers. Woohoo, Dorland. All right, I'm going to describe myself very quickly. I am a black woman with, I guess, I don't know, mid-back length locks. I have my headphones on. I'm sitting in like a white computer chair. Oh, we both have these RBG mics. They're like kind of cool. And behind me is a bunch of plants. And oh, I changed my scenery, y'all. Did you notice? I got new digs. Well, it's the same place. I just moved my desk somewhere and put a bunch of plants around. It makes me feel good whenever I'm at work.
It's also supposed to make you look smart, according to a former supervisor of ours.
Yeah, I will never forget that. He had this fake tropical background, and he like one day he just showed up with it, and we were like, what is going on? And he was like, you know, they did a study where it makes you look smarter if you have plants. So I was like, I'm gonna put a bunch of plants in here.
Only you got the real ones.
Yeah, I got ferns. I have like 40 plants. I am not kidding. One day I'm going to do a tour and show y'all like the craziness that are the plants I have. Also, I have a French press coffee right next to me that I'm going to just be doing on the stream because I want my coffee. And last time it like sat for 45 minutes. All right. The clothes horse said, I noticed a new plant wall in the background. Thank you. Two Purple Shoes said, 13 years using iPhone, even though I don't know how to write iPhone. Are you saying that you've been using VoiceOver for 13 years? Huh. Robosom said, I need more tropical backgrounds. The clothes horse said, I would love a plant tour. I'm going to do it one day. Hulda D said, love French press cafe. Yes. All right. So let's talk about what a screen reader is. Right? Y'all ready? You ready, Dorland?
Let's do this thing.
All right. What is a screen reader? On the page, we have a photo of a Braille reader. We're going to get into Braille readers. We actually got one at work. It's pretty cool.
You mean
Dorlin.
a Braille display?
Excuse me, y'all. A Braille display, not a Braille reader. Because I'm like screen reader, Braille reader. Obviously, no, I'm wrong.
I see why that would happen. I like to be very impeccable with my words, if
Indeed. James
Right.
Squirrel said refreshable Braille display. And Two
you
Pro
will.
Shoes
Indeed.
said, yeah, on a phone, never used a Mac. Okay. You're saying you've used VoiceOver on iPhone for 13 years. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
That's it.
Um,
That's awesome.
we're talking about who it's for, why you should test with one, and what kind of screen readers exist. So, specifically, Dorlin, what's a screen reader? Tell the people.
It is a piece of software that converts digital things into synthesized speech or braille so that those who can't see the screen can hear it or feel it. It's also, can be used for other people who need that additional help of seeing and hearing at the same time, having that like underlined. But primarily, it's a piece of software that's going to take all of your digital data and convert it so that we can navigate it by character, word, and line, or by element and hear what someone else is seeing.
Right, exactly. I pretty much put just software program, text to speech, or Braille output. It reads the software or web application and other digital interfaces. So you can have it on your phone, on the web, on your operating system, and I'm sure they're on your TV. That's a good one to talk about too.
Yeah. I use I believe it's called Voice View, the like Amazon Fire Stick has built into that. So you can just flip that on out of the box, you don't have to download an app or anything. It's just ready to go. And one thing I didn't say, and that it doesn't say, we said it reads things, but it also allows you to interact with and type, interact with the elements as well. So it's not just simply reading.
Right. You instead of your mouse, you're going to be pretty much using your keyboard to activate things, which is why keyboard accessibility is so important, among other reasons. So, we're going to talk about the use of accessibility APIs of your browser and operating system. I want to preface this by this is where the study group will really come into play, the study together part, because this is something that I don't I don't know if I can be articulate and super accurate when I describe it, and I'm kind of learning it to myself. So we're gonna get through it together. But pretty much the screen reader accesses this accessibility API to read values, roles, and names of whatever is on the screen. So it has a way to interact with your computer to pull that information and then read it back to the user. So, for example, if we're interacting with a web page that has like headings or has lists or has like a radio button or even a toggle, it's either using ARIA role values or semantic HTML, like reading those elements and pulling that from it, pretty much. Could be not explaining that the best, but
Reading the elements as well as the accessible names on those elements.
right.
So
So like if you have it doesn't read things like divs and spans, but it does read things like nav, right? Like the things that are like that come with the HTML itself.
yeah, some good, I think, examples are the ones you originally listed, like headings, lists, buttons,
Links.
links, graphics.
Graphics,
images.
images.
Um, yeah, and it's taking all that info. When I first learned screen readers and JAWS, one phrase that has always stuck with me is that the screen reader takes the information and puts it into a virtual column. So even though when you're visually looking at a web page, you see, something's on the right, something's on the left, above this, below that, all that. The screen reader is taking all that information and it is putting it in a single column where you can go, it's going down row by row of the elements in there and can read those, and it can navigate through there. You don't have to go top to bottom, but it's not going to be moving around your web page it's going top to bottom essentially for us. And so when I first started learning HTML and you're going line by line as you're coding, I was like, oh my gosh, here's our virtual column. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that, but essentially that's what it's taking.
Yeah, and I know it must be interesting to hear that constantly. Like if you're using a screen reader before you learn how to code, you're hearing constantly things like navigation header, heading level 1, list of 2, link, blah, 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 graphic, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like learning it and you're like, okay, I can actually visually see how they're structuring the page. And they're pretty much using an accessibility tree that allows access to the DOM and can manipulate and read it that way. I'm going to read some of these comments because there are a lot of people here who know how to explain it a little bit better than me and have some resources as well. Two Purple Shoes said,
yay, study group.
I know, right? Two Purple Shoes said the DOM, HTML elements, these are things that they were writing as we were talking. Dr. Tony Fast said AOM, accessibility object model. And there's a link here, and I'm going to take this link. Remember, we have our running page where I keep all the links. So I'm going to take that link and put it there. Thank you so much, Dr. Tony.
Pull that up.
Yeah, I got to pull it up too. The chat is moving a little bit faster than I can scroll up and grab that, so I'll grab it later. Let me see. My chat in here is like being a little finicky. Karina Merck said the browser builds the accessibility tree and the assistive tech via the APIs access the accessible objects in the tree. Okay, so they're able to access the accessible objects in the tree, basically. The browser is building the accessibility tree. And we're going to show you this so that it's less abstract, because this can be really abstract if you don't see what we're talking about. But pretty much my understanding, and Karina Merg is like really clearing it up for me, the browser is the one that's building this accessibility tree. The assistive technology, which is our screen reader, is accessing it via the accessibility API. These accessible objects in that tree. Sophie's Choice said, don't forget that for websites, screen readers make use of the accessibility tree to read a page and to get the name, role, value from all the elements and components, right? And Sophie's Choice said, and hi everyone. Hi, Sophie.
Hey.
Holda D said, that's super cool. Didn't know about Alley APIs either. Gina with a J said, there's also a difference between using forms versus focus modes, which navigates via interactive elements, versus browse mode, where all the text on the page is read, right? When you land on a page, when you're using a screen reader, I think the default is to read the whole page until you start arrowing through, which can elicit different behavior. JMC Sorrel said, here's a great article on accessibility APIs. Thank you. I'll be putting these in our Google Doc. I want to take a moment, since we're talking about it, to kind of show y'all an example of the accessibility tree and how you can kind of look at it yourself. What website should we use to do that? Do you have one that you can think of, Dorlin, that you want to just take a little peek under? Ooh, probably Video Ninja. Ooh.
Yeah, I was just in there the other day, actually. I'm kind of already familiar with that one.
Okay,
So yeah,
let's
bring up the
do
source code
it.
on that guy. Or show me how you're going to do this accessibility thing.
All right, so we're gonna go to Video Ninja, which is what we use to get co-streamers on. So Dorlin signs into Video Ninja, and she had a problem where she wasn't able to press the button herself to get in to start the video. And we talked to the guy who was working on it, and he kind of fixed it. So we're gonna show you what
I have
that
a
is.
super secret, my own way of getting in now with a shortcut key.
Yeah, my very smart
But
friend.
but I also think I figured out how to I just sorry to our video ninja contact. I will get back with him.
Yeah.
But I think I figured out what's wrong with his code too.
And
So
we'll get some help from some very smart people in the room, I'm sure, who will let us know what they think is also the problem. I'm very, very interested to see what everyone says, honestly. Okay. Let's go to Video Ninja. And here's the control room, actually, of Video Ninja that Dorland's currently in. So I'm showing them what it actually looks like what I can see. So Dorland's right here, but I'm going to go over here to a new tab, and I'm going to open up what it looks like when you try to get in. So it's right here. And let's say I want to join a room. I'm going to press go. All right, if I navigate with, you know what? I'm going to turn my screen reader on for fun. I think is it Command F5?
yep.
Okay. Control Option Shift down arrow. That's a lot. Can I just press?
To interact. You're not sharing your computer sound, so we
Oh
can't hear your
no. Okay, hold on.
voiceover.
I think it's right here.
Volume slider for Samsung monitor share. You are currently on a slider. To start interacting with the slider, press Control, Option, Shift, down arrow. Volume slider for Samsung monitor share.
Okay, how do I
Volume
get up?
slider for Samsung monitor share. Deny button.
Command F5
3 items.
to
Allow Video Ninja to use your
close
camera
out
and
voiceover
microphone.
if you need
You are
to.
currently on a text element.
So I think it was a camera. Maybe I don't know if it's going to mess me up, but I'm going to put allow. Let's see what it does.
Deny button. Deny button. Allow Video Ninja to use your camera and micro. Allow Video Ninja to use your camera. Deny button. You are currently on a allow
Well,
button.
and also when I
You are
share my
currently on a
screen,
button. To click this
actually,
button,
when we
press
get to the
Control,
end of
Option,
this, I can
space.
come to Video Ninja and share my sound, and they can hear what I'm hearing when we get to that screen.
Right.
too,
Can
if
you
that
hear
makes
my well, I don't think you would hear it because you're not in here with me. Right now, Dr. Tony Fest, we're listening to the Mac voiceover.
Oh, I can't hear it. You guys can though. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I
All
just
right.
realized that.
Sorry, guys. You're listening to voiceover chatter over everything, and I'm like, it's not going. All right. Proceed.
Okay. So it's been a while since I've used voiceover, everyone. I usually use JAWS. Let me press allow, space, something.
Go is
Okay. Also, I'm using DuckDuckGo, which is not probably the right one I should be using.
voiceover off.
I'm just going to turn it off. Okay. So here is the screen that we're talking about, Dorlin. Right here. I'm on it. So to get to the accessibility tree, what do I do? Tell me. I right click, right, and go to developer tools. I just realized I'm using the wrong thing. I'm like in a browser that doesn't make sense to be in. Can you hear me, Dorlin? Darn. I think I lost Dorlin. Hold on, y'all. Oh, I know what happened. Okay. Can you hear me, Dorlin? Can you hear me? Audio fee fine. Allow. Dorlin, can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. I was just gonna send you a message.
Yeah, I see what it is now. I need to okay. It's because I was in Video Ninja in another thing. So we might you're not gonna be able to hear me.
I see.
Okay, that's fine.
okay.
We'll use a different, so we're gonna use this example when you do it and share your screen. So let me just do it on a different website.
That sounds good. Yeah. Gosh.
Converse.com. Because me and Dorlin love Converses, but they don't have a very accessible website. So I keep forgetting I'm using something that I don't usually use, which is DuckDuckGo, and I need to use Chrome. Okay. Converse.com. Robo said Converse has the best shoes. You guys are telling me to open the inspector DevTools. Yeah, I don't particularly know how it DuckDuckGo works, and I'm just not even gonna try. So I'm just gonna use one that I'm used to. And I think my computer is spazzing right now. Too many at this time. I'm gonna some stuff because it's really struggling right now. Just out of this. Get out of this. All right.
Oh.
Maybe there's a new Chrome available, and it's like these relaunch stuff. Okay, maybe relaunch it. All right, let me see if I missed any things while this loads. Ooh, James Coral said they have a nice article on accessibility AI APIs, smashingmagazine.com. I'm gonna have to check that out. Sophie's Choice asks, how is studying going, everyone? Robo said, slow and steady. Hope studying is going well for you. How's it going for you, Darlin?
Oh, I mean, this is it.
No.
So that in everyday life. I mean, yesterday I'm going so that I, just through the browser that I could see, and like put on my like Nancy Drew / wannabe
specialist
web
hat.
accessibility specialist
And
hat.
I don't know, felt good about it.
And
So,
I don't know, felt good
real
about
life
it. Studying, but
real
mostly
life
just
studying,
here.
but mostly just
Although
here.
I'm
I'm
still
mostly in
I'm still mostly in trusted
tester
tester mode because I have to get that finished up before March 24th. So
Yeah. The close hearse asked if the video was buffering for anyone else. That was probably because I had like way too many things going on. Hopefully it's fine now. Is it okay, y'all? I hope it is. Right now I'm on Converse's homepage, and there's a video of two black men in cornrows and platinum chains and a basketball bouncing, showing their cool outfits and their Converse shoes. Create history, not hype. Okay, y'all? That's what Converse wants us to know.
All right.
So what we're trying to do is figure out how to access the accessibility tree so that you can visually see what a screen reader would see. All right. So to do that, we're going to go to the inspect tool by right clicking and then pressing inspect. And once you get here, you'll see kind of the HTML and all the other things. But what we want to do is go over here to, is it Lighthouse? No, it's not Lighthouse. Accessibility assessment. I don't think it's that, but there's an accessibility tree in here. It's been a while since I've done this or had to. Where do I go again, Dorlin? With Chrome?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get to the accessibility tree.
I'm not actually sure what the accessibility tree is. I'm sorry. I don't use the inspect tool. Usually what I do is I just go into the like view source and I go down line by line when I'm looking at it. But I'm also I'm new to this.
Okay.
Like accessibility, I didn't actually realize until today that the browser was making that tree. I thought it was like my screen reader doing all of that work. So that's interesting. And it kind of makes sense why certain browsers work better with certain screen readers.
I found it. I wonder if you can get to this. So basically, what?
You went into inspect?
I went into the spec. Right now it's in elements, but it's like if you go into like where the styles is, it'll be like styles, computed, layout, event listeners. Have you ever gotten over to that side?
No.
Are you navigating now? Are you doing it by any chance?
I'm over there now.
So it says elements, console, source, network, performance. And I don't know if yours looks like mine. So we might have to just go into yours and see what yours looks like. And I could probably... Oh, Dr. Tony Fast said they moved it. There's an alley guy in the top right of the HTML DOM. They moved it. Tam Sin Wing said Axe Dev Tools. That's not what I was looking for. Axe Dev Tools does something specific. So I'm just going to click on it now so you guys can see it. And Dorlin, I'm going to help you get there when you share your screen. Okay. I'm pretty sure that you put accessibility. Yes, exactly. So here's our accessibility tree. If anyone needs help getting here, let me know and I'll show you again because it's not intuitive. It's upsetting. Every time I look for it, I like have to do what I just did. And I always feel like, how am I an accessibility expert and I can't even show anybody where the accessibility tree is? I'm going to move away from this moving page because just in case anyone is like me and doesn't want to see that moving in their background. I'm sorry.
Does it have a mechanism to pause this?
I think it did.
Scrolling content.
So that's actually a great question. I'm pretty sure there was an X. Is it keyboard accessible? That's another story. But whatever, I don't know where it is. But once you get to this accessibility tree, let's see. Sophie's Choice said you can enable the accessibility tree in the elements section. It will replace the DOM view with the accessibility tree. Right. That's, I believe, what we did right here. CJ Akui said, hey, y'all, I tend to use VoiceOver with Chrome rather than Safari. Is that not a best practice? I don't know that that's not a best practice. Most people are using Chrome.
Testing. I mean, really, you should be testing with both,
right?
Because they're for different like pieces of hardware. Because your Safari is going to be on most of your iOS devices, like not iOS devices, but iDevices, iPad and iPhone and Mac and whatever, and Chrome's going to be on your Windows.
Right. Some people change their defaults on Mac, but for the most part, a lot of people don't. So it's good to test in Safari because that's what they'll probably be using. But you also want to test in Chrome because a lot of people use Chrome. But I do want to kind of show y'all. This is cool because you can kind of see element by element, like what's being returned. And I'm excited for you to see this, Dorlin, because you'll kind of see things like area attributes for each thing. It says generic, generic, generic. Who knows what any of this means? We should probably find a better website that's not so big so that we can actually see what's on it. But we'll do that another time. Hear an echo when Dorlin talks because I have my sound on. My bad, y'all. All right, so I'm going to get out of here so we can move on before we spend a million years on this. Oh, it's Dorlin's LinkedIn. Let me get out of here. We'll get back there. All right. So we talked about what a screen reader is deeply, I'd say, in great detail, which is good. Did we miss anything?
Well, I'm sure we could go into more detail, but I don't have anything else that I think need to hit on of what a screen reader is.
All right. So basically, a screen reader is accessing an accessibility API in whatever you're using, and then reading the accessibility tree, and then spitting out these roles, states, and names of the elements that it navigates over. And it's reading semantic elements out loud in a sequential vertical order from top to bottom. Remember that screen readers can't really read divs. They don't mean anything. They're not semantic, so they're not being read as anything. It's just like a block of whatever. So it's hard to understand the structure of the page and to navigate it in a way that is sequential. So it just makes it a lot more confusing. Todd Libby said, screen reader fun today. Yep, all about screen readers. We just looked at the accessibility tree, some of us for the first time. So that was very exciting, actually.
Yeah.
Span is not semantic either. Yeah, span and divs are not read. Any other sage wisdom about, you just missed the part where we needed the most help. Well, not probably the most help, but I'm sure you would have been like, this is where you go to find everything.
We need all your help, Todd.
Oh, Amor Paris said, I'm still getting the choppy stream and audio repeats. Let me double check something. Media source. Has my stream music been playing this whole time? I'm dead. I hope not, but it might have been. I don't know why it would be. Oh, I know why. Goodness gracious. I think I might need to mute you or me somewhere. No, that's not what it is. Can you hear me, Dorlin?
I can hear you.
All right. Are we choppy or might have to refresh the browser? Am I choppy or anything for anyone? If you, yeah, just let me know. All right, so let's move on to who uses a screen reader. This one's going to be quick because we already did this. So I'm not even going to tell y'all who uses it. I'm just going to see if y'all remember. But Todd Libby said, let the screen reader do its thing and don't try to change behaviors in code to make screen readers do something it normally wouldn't. My sage advice. Yes, that part.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably already there for you to use natively. Oh, Hulda said, yes, my music was on, but it was soothing music. Well, I'll put it on sometimes, but sometimes I know it probably could be.
Oh, jeez.
My bad, y'all. All right. Everyone knows this if you're here, if you've been with me. Who uses a screen reader?
Me.
Dorlin uses one. Let's see if anyone in the chat will say anything.
You let me know if you want me to start rattling off.
Go for it. I think
All
there's
right.
something weird happening with the stream. Maybe we'll see. I gotta look.
Okay. Well, so we have people who are blind and visually impaired and can't see the screen, so they're using screen readers. We also have people who, like with cognitive impairments, who might need to hear what is being said in addition to reading it for, what's the word I'm looking for? Just to be able to understand what's going on. Like missing other groups that use screen readers. I mean, honestly, I have sighted friends with no disabilities who love the reader feature on different browsers where you can just click it and it'll just read you an article, and you can listen and do other things at the same time. So screen readers are for everybody, but primarily folks with disabilities are using them.
Right, right. Karina Merck said anyone who uses a refreshable braille display. Yeah.
Oh, good one. Absolutely. That's what powers a braille display, those screen readers,
Holda
pretty
D
much.
said people with no vision or limited vision testers. Yeah. I'm guessing if you're saying testers, you mean accessibility testers.
Just testers in general, let's hope. Fingers
Right.
crossed that's who could use
QA.
it.
Let's see. Robodom said individuals who are hard of hearing. I'm not sure because they would have to hear what's on the screen reader versus maybe reading it visually so that they wouldn't have to use that sense or strain that use. They captions would probably be a better bet for them. But I don't know. There could be a use case for that.
Well, certainly in conjunction with a vision impairment,
Yeah, I could see that,
you're,
especially if you have both.
so that you've got braille going.
Robo said individuals with attention difficulties, yes. Especially screen readers that highlight the words as it reads it. People with reading disabilities, like talking about that highlighting as you read, it really helps to for people with dyslexia as well. People who have migraines, right? If you have migraines as you're looking on the computer, it may be hard to
That's a good
continue to do
one.
that. Plants in Pajama said people who are dyslexic, although they may use a slightly different type of screen reader sometimes, yeah, they probably wouldn't use JAWS. They'd use something like Read and Write or any of the other ones. I think it's Google Read and Write. They have something that does something like that. Todd Libby said, I know of elderly people that use screen readers, right? Brain injuries, anything with cognition, cognitive delays, it may be easier to hear something rather than see it visually for certain cognitive injuries. That's all I can think of. There might be more. I'm sure there are.
Teachers who have a student who might be using one, they're also going to be using them. Everybody.
All right. So, my favorite subject, y'all. Why should you test with a screen reader? For more reason than you think, in my opinion. But what do you think, Dorlin?
I mean, I think it's a really few different things. I mean, testing with a screen reader is going to let you know that folks using a screen reader can use your website, your product, whatever it is. But a screen reader is also a really good way to just point out what's maybe going wrong. Because screen readers, I feel like if a screen reader can read it all, you're encompassing so many other things too that are going to work then.
Exactly. Exactly. I want to really have us think about what a screen reader can do just as a little testing, like a tester, like a temperature taker of like how your page is structured and whether or not a lot of people with disabilities can use it. Let's see what I didn't even write anything in this text, so let me just take us to the home screen. There's nothing there. Why should you test with a screen reader? Because you're forced to navigate with a keyboard. There are a lot of people who don't use a keyboard, and navigating with a screen reader on and a keyboard will tell you whether or not you can get into all the elements and select all the elements that you can, right? It also tells you whether or not the structure of your page makes sense, whether there's a navigation area that makes sense, and lists that make sense, and headings that make sense, right? These are all things that are hard to discern or think about in practice when you're not using a screen reader. It's also good to use a screen reader because you're encompassing all of the people who are using screen readers, obviously, right? Testing to see if they can navigate in that way. Tamzing Wing said to test that the programmatic reading order follows visual reading order. Yeah, right. Exactly. That's a really good one, because sometimes when you're tabbing, the tab is taking you all over the place, which is different from reading order, because that's just a specific thing that would be specific to screen readers. But tab order, you probably wouldn't, when you're keyboard testing by itself, you don't have to really keyboard test by itself when you have a screen reader on, because you have to keyboard test. So it's wrapped into one thing. In that order, especially when you get the auditory feedback of where things are and you see that it's not matching up. If you're a visual tester, I think that's helpful. Jana with the J said it'll also tell you if you have accessible names on things, like if you have 5 edit buttons on a page, what do the buttons edit? It may not be clear if the labels are all the same. That's a really good one. Yeah. Tam said to test that form labels are announced so people know what to put in a field. Right, exactly. So testing that the screen reader can access that tree and that it's actually correct and that it's giving the label, it's like the labels are matching with the buttons that you see or the form fields that you see. Because if you're tabbing through things, you're not really landing on the word. So if you land on a form field that's attached or next to it, it says phone number, right? And then you just hear edit and you don't hear anything. A screen reader will kind of point that out. More Puri. I'm sorry that it's been buffering. We'll see you next time. Dr. Tony Fast said using the keyboard guards you from adding keyboard shortcuts that conflict with screen readers. It winds up being a lot to think about in interactive sites. Yeah, and if you think about screen readers or testing with one or the things that it takes for a screen reader, you won't have to find mistakes after or reconfigure your whole page in a way because of how you did it before. Like, when it's like you have all these shortcuts to do all this stuff and now you have to refigure how to do it's just having that at the forefront, I think, is good. Were you going to say something, Dorlin?
I don't think so.
Any other reasons we should test with a screen reader that I didn't mention?
I can't think of any, although I'm sure there are many. There always are.
Yeah.
You never know what might make you laugh, how an emoji might be labeled or something.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite thing. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Emojis. Do y'all know how emojis work? Like how a screen reader or a phone knows what emoji it is, like to show you or to tell you. I learned about this watching CS 250, the free Harvard class, the computer science, intro to computer science class, basically. And when they explained how it worked, I was like, this is how a screen reader knows what it is. But anyway, just like a computer kind of has a code, like computers see zeros and ones pretty much. And any code that we're writing, like JavaScript or something, is pretty much doing the heavy lifting, and then the computer is reading it and converting it back to zeros and ones. So every letter is represented by a number, and then that's how it kind of displays on your screen. And emojis are represented by a string of like 8 numbers or something. I don't know what it is, but it's represented by these numbers, and they all have individual unique unique numbers. So the cowboy hat emoji is a specific number, and that's why if you have a Android or you have an iPhone, even though you don't have the same emojis visually, they're still the same emoji. They just look kind of different depending on which operating system you're viewing it on, but it's the same emoji, and it'll say cowboy hat emoji, right? And that's kind of how they do it. They each have like this individual number attached to them. I don't know, I thought that was really cool.
Very interesting.
Let's see. Tans said, to test that the main regions of a page, landmarks are announced so that the user knows how the page has been structured, like nav, main, and footer. Absolutely. Two Purple Shoes said, read the FAQ with a screen reader. James Sorrell said, if your software has built-in keyboard shortcuts, it's best to make them programmable by the user so that they can configure them not to interfere with their AT. Speech to text also relies on keyboard shortcuts, so trying to code shortcuts that avoid everything someone might use avoids everything someone might use can be a challenge. Hence the reason it's helpful to make keyboard shortcuts customizable, right? Just like you shouldn't program the text size on your web pages, right? Because if you hard code it in there, someone who needs to blow it up to 400% will not be able to do that. So the same thing kind of applies to keyboard shortcuts, unless it's like a specific type of website. I could see like a gaming website or something like that, putting in shortcuts based off of a game. But even that, it's not something I've ever had to really think about much. So that was an off the top of my head example that I don't even know is correct. We were actually I've been talking to Dorlin about PlayStation games, adaptable PlayStation games that use audio descriptions. Like The Last of Us apparently has a really good version of that. I'm very excited to see what that's about. Hulda said, so it's reading like an ID specific to that emoji. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. Robo said, also an important consideration for those of us who like to use emojis when texting. Yeah, if you're using an emoji I guess it depends. If you know that the person can see the emoji, it's one thing. But I know when I text like Dorlin emojis, I'm always like, what is this emoji's description? Because sometimes it'll be like hand, and you're like, this is a picture of the ocean. What's happening here?
A couple of things about that. I mean, I love getting strings of emojis, and when people put emojis in, I mean, the way it reads it in seamlessly, sometimes I don't even like realize it was an emoji, which I guess could be problematic sometimes. But I mean, I love getting like a string of them, and however they read, it's usually fun. But also, I was reading about this earlier today or this week about emojis, and like someone was just like, flip on your screen reader before you send your friend the text, because we all have a screen reader built into our phones for the most part, so turn on voiceover real fast, listen to it, and then you can send it. I mean, honestly, you could spend a lot of time just going through pages of emojis with your screen reader on and have a good time.
Yeah.
Some of them are, what did you sent me rock the other day, which to me sounds like a rock. Like rock, paper, scissors, a single rock, but it's like the rocker hands, right? Like, is that like, this?
Yeah, that one. To the pinky and the index finger up.
Pointing up with the thumb
like
pinching
horns.
The middle and the ring down. And then you stick your tongue out.
Mm-hmm.
No, but yeah. So that was surprising to me, because I never would have chosen to use a rock emoji.
Right, yeah, it's kind of random. It's Teams, man. Teams has the most random emojis. I don't know what they were thinking, but I enjoy it for the most part.
Yeah, because that one we just described on the iPhone, those emojis, it's called hand making the sign of the horns.
Much better. Dr. Tony said, first basic rule of game accessibility is to allow controls to be remapped and reconfigured. And there is a link that oh, that's really cool. Darn. I don't know if anyone from the, anybody from the Discord group is in here, but if you can take these links, if you happen to be in here and you're like going to stay for most of it, can you put the links somewhere? Because usually I can take them, but the chat is moving faster than my brain, and for some reason it's not letting me copy the links like in an efficient way. It's like kind of hard, but I do want to send this to you, Dorlin. Actually, let me pull up the thing now so I can do that. We're going to talk about testing using a screen reader next. I kind of just want to open up my Google Doc first. So that I can start putting these links in. And then I'm going to put the link to this Google Doc in here so that everyone can get it. Accessibility Study Group. And this is something else. Oh, here we go. So here is, let me get out of this. Am I sharing yet? No, let me share my screen with y'all. Here's our study group links. I'm going to go through these one of these days, like when I have some time, and actually put some descriptions on this. One of our members actually did do that, and it's in our Discord. Here we go. So I'm gonna put is today week 3?
Oh no. Yes, I don't.
Gotta make this a heading.
That sounds right. Yes, it is.
All right, week 3. All right, it's in here for you, and here's a link to this. This pretty much holds all the links that people put in the chat. There you go, my friends. Let me see if I missed anything. Plants in Pajama said, the accessibility difference between The Last of Us 2013 and The Last of Us Part 2 2020 are really cool to see. Lots of evolution made in that time. Yeah, that's really cool. I've been hearing about it. James Squirrel said, hook 'em horns. That's the University of Texas hand side too. RoboDom said, which channel on Discord should we post these links? Resources? No, I don't know. I feel like the resources or in the study materials, I don't know. I give you free reign to do whichever you think makes the most sense. Okay, let's talk about testing using a screen reader. All right, when we're testing using a screen reader, what are we looking for? Like, what are we trying to see the screen reader do? What would mean that this is a successful experience? What's like the first thing you look for, Dorlin, when you're using a screen reader to test a website for accessibility?
I mean, I guess I just start going through the different elements. I usually start with headings. And I'll use my quick keys to quickly navigate through and see what headings are there. And then I might check out what lists might be on the page. I mean, part of this is me as an auditor, wanting to check out everything, which I guess, as a tester, this is what you're looking for. So like, hitting my quick key for lists, seeing that those are there and how many items that list identifies as having, and then checking that that's actually how many items are in it. Checking tables with it, if there are any, and then that I can navigate them. And once I'm in a cell, that it's going to give me my column and row headers so that I have that information so I know where in that table I am. Oh, and graphics. gotta look for that alt text.
Whether or not it exists.
Yeah, looking for that. And then links and buttons, running through my quick key for those, making sure that I'm getting an accessible name with each and not hearing link,
Or click here.
button. Yeah. Click here.
By the way, y'all, we're going to take a 5-minute break in like 2 minutes after we're done talking about this slide. And then we're going to actually get into actually using the screen reader with Dorlin, because clearly my Mac experience is not, it's just too overwhelming. I have to practice a little bit more, and y'all are, motivating me to do that. It's been quite some time since I used it on the Mac. So
you're also like our audio engineer and everything.
Yeah, it's too hard.
Like producer, director, everything you got going on over there.
Man, no one told me how much streaming takes. It's just a lot. I'm like, damn, am I an audio engineer now? I feel like one. Anyways,
yeah.
So that's what Dorlin looks for. And that's why I love her, because she's like, she gets in there, she looks for all this stuff. And then I come in and I am like doing quick and dirty type stuff visually. So as a visual tester, I'm looking for things like, is this page actually structured, right? Like, is the screen reader reading the structure of the page correctly? Because I can visually see what they were trying to do. Like, does this alt text actually describe what this picture is? As I'm arrowing down, is the reading order of what I'm reading, like looking at, making sense? Or is it jumping all over or missing entire pieces of text? Is the focus order as I tab going through each element that is interactive in the order of me tabbing through it? Is there a focus ring around things as I'm tabbing? And that's not even really a screen reader thing. That's a keyboard thing. But because I'm using the screen reader and using the keyboard, I'm looking out for things like that. Like if I arrow or if I tab, do I have that focus ring around? Do I have it around my buttons and my links and things like that? So that's primarily what we're looking for, just making sure that it's reading labels, reading landmarks, reading correctly and in order, and that we're not getting trapped, in some type of weird keyboard order and we can't get out of it. So using quick keys, can I find my headings? Can I find my whatevers? Anything else, Dorlin? We're also going to show it to you. So yeah.
Whoever brought up regions, that's another really good one. I mean, I hit in JAWS, if you hit Q, it'll take you to the main region if there's a main region designated. And I love that when it actually jumps me to the right place on the page. It's wonderful.
Skip links.
Yes. Checking if those work. Do they take your focus down there? Sometimes we found that it'll move like the visual focus down, but it won't actually move the focus of my screen reader down.
And this is to tie it in for those who don't use screen readers, but do understand HTML or semantic HTML a little bit. Like when we're using things like nav areas or regions like main, aside, and not just divs, it's easier for those skip links to kind of like go to the main region versus if it was arbitrarily like labeled. All right. So
one other thing we didn't talk about is just form fields and making sure they're labeled, that you can properly interact with them. And if you're testing those and they're working correctly with the screen reader, then you also know that something like voice recognition is going to work with those, because someone using like Dragon or another software like that is going to need to be able to tell the program what it wants to interact with. And if there's not that accessible name, then it can't interact with it either. But using a screen reader, you can tell, you can test for that without having to then go and test with Dragon as well.
Right. James Squirrel said, things to look for with a screen reader: headings, regions, links, buttons, graphics, tables. They said, question for Dorlin: how do you feel about content that is coded as both a link and a heading?
I don't mind when things have two things. I mean, it's just going to read me both of them. It can get a little verbose. But like if there's a reason for it, I don't have any problem with it, you know?
Robodom said you have to be your own production crew when streaming.
But that's
It's
me.
true. All right. It has
Yeah.
been a minute.
And also,
What?
oh,
No.
all right. Well, I was
go
just going
for
to
it.
say, I don't say this every stream, but I feel the need to, since someone asked me a question here, to just iterate that, like, I am one blind person. I am one assistive technology user. And so I do speak for me, even though I do tend to generalize, and maybe my experiences maybe encompasses more, but like in general, I do want to say, like, I'm speaking for me here. Not everybody. We're all individuals.
As Dorlan likes to say, when you meet one blind person, you've met one blind person. Karina said, when you click on a link in a list, let's say a table of contents, and the focus moves to that section on the page, do you expect the screen reader to say out of list? No. When click on a link and it moves the focus to the section of the page, I expect it to read where the focus lands on the section of that page, I think, right?
Yeah, I would expect that. I would, but in terms of if you were in a list of links and like it had read, like list of 5 items and you were on like the third one and then you hit enter, it should just take me down there. It shouldn't tell me I'm exiting the list. If I'm continuing to arrow down through the list after the like 5th item of our 5-item list, I should hear list end before I arrow down again to my next element, whatever that might be.
Two Purple Shoes said, does the focus go back to the right place after inputting data? That's a good one. Tam said, question for Dorlan, what about when a link is coded as a button or vice versa? Does that cause you to use the wrong keyboard shortcuts to activate it? A link is coded as a button. Well, then it's not a button. That's just inaccurate, right?
Well, so you could use, so many people use links as buttons and buttons as links, and they're kind of interchangeable in a sense, but like you're right. Like, so if I am doing something and I'm thinking that I need to find a button, I'm going to be hitting my B key for button. But if it turns out it's a link, then I need to be hitting U for unvisited link or V for visited link or something, And so like it can throw me off. Like it is a personal kind of pet peeve of mine. I'm like, use a button where it should be a button and use a link where it should be a link. It makes it a lot easier to re-navigate a page too.
Yeah, my pet peeve is definitely anything that's not correctly labeled. Like if it's a link, just make it a link. If it's a button, just make it a button. If you want to style it or do something weird with it, do that in the CSS. Or, if you want it to interact in a weird way, I don't know, make sure your JavaScript is not using like weird ARIA to make it something that it's not. All right. Oh, Karina said a link cannot be activated with the space bar is something we're looking for, or clicking to close a drop down. All right. We're going to take 5 minutes. And when we get back, Dorlan is going to hop on Zoom and we're going to share from there because I'm a producer and this is the way that I decided we're going to do it because it's the only way that I know how to do it correctly without this whole thing imploding. Okay, if anyone knows a better way, you can definitely put it in the chat and send me a link or hit me up on Discord and let me know how to do this correctly.
But this was the easiest way we found for me to be able to share my computer sound with people. Yes. So you can hear Jaws.
Because we can share using Video Ninja, but we can't share her sound natively. We would have to do like a bunch of extra stuff that we just didn't have the time for and will not make the time for because we can just use Zoom. But let's see. There's more stuff in here. Buttons work when you use correctly as button. Don't use button as link. Two Purple Shoes. Yep. James Coral said buttons do things and links go places. So the wrong one can be confused. Yes, buttons do things, right? Mm-hmm. And links take you to a different place.
Yeah.
Okay. Robo said this current setup is working out so far with what you have. Oh, thank you, Robo. All right, y'all. I need a break. Please take one. Please get up out of your seats and stretch. Get some water and come back, and we're going to do some screen reading stuff. Also, if you're here with us, download a screen reader, man. Just do it. Why not? It's already on your computer. Just activate it. You got a Mac? Press Command F5, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, you got that right.
Okay.
Command F5.
You got how do you do it with a narrator?
For narrator on Windows machine, you press Control Windows plus Enter. And all of these are toggles, so then you can toggle them back off. We'll talk a little bit about downloading JAWS and NVDA and then how you can flip those on in our next bit when we come back. But then if you've got an iPhone, go into Settings, go down to Accessibility. And from Accessibility, I think you have to go to Vision and then VoiceOver. VoiceOver might be on that top page, and then toggle that on. You've got it. And there's similar I think it's Settings and Accessibility also for TalkBack if you've got an Android phone. So,
all right, friends. See you in 5.
All right, cool. Bye.
Bye. Okay, we're back. Hello, everyone. Dorlin is in her Zoom room and she has JAWS on, and this is an experiment, so we'll see if it works. Yeah, we were muted on purpose. You should be able to hear us now.
Yeah, testing. Hopefully everyone can hear both of us, and then...
Oh, yeah, they can hear us now. Thanks, Robo, though, because we always do that. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna share my Zoom room with Dorlin in it, and she's gonna be sharing her screen. So she's currently sharing her screen right now.
All right. So should I go ahead and see if people can hear my JAWS, or do you need to...
Hold on, I have to do something specific really fast right here. I have to turn Ninja Video off, and then I have to turn my monitor on. And everyone's going to have to tell us whether or not they can hear your JAWS, and you starting now. So go ahead and say some stuff. Use JAWS a little.
Okay, saying some stuff.
Screen sharing meeting controls.
And there's JAWS.
Tap news currently news alt plus A button. Tap audio settings button drop down. Tap start video left arrow plus B right arrow button.
Is Dorlin's volume still lower than mine? I might have mine just up too high.
I could turn mine up and come up to
mine
you.
was-
Be better.
I don't know if that would work. Oh, yay. They hear you and they hear JAWS. Disclaimer, I'm very
Yay.
hungry, so I'm going to be eating a little bit. My apologies for anybody who does not want to see that. So what we want to do is show you how we're using Video Ninja. And we want to do a little detective work to figure out why this button is acting the way it's acting, and we're going to do that by using the inspect tool to look at the actual DOM. And Dorlin's going to show us how to do all of that using JAWS.
Okay, and I'm going into a brand new room, right? Just vdoninja.com, is that right?
Yes. Let me see if I can
Okay.
make a new room.
Let me turn my screen reader speed down a little bit. I don't know where I was at.
Slower, slower, slower. Title is screen sharing meeting controls. Slower, slower, slower. Title is screen sharing meeting controls.
I don't even know what a reasonable speed is for everybody.
Slower, slower, slower. Title is screen sharing meeting.
All right, well, we'll start there and then we'll check back in with people and see if it's too slow. Let's see. So I am going to...
Windows D, folder view, list view, Google Chrome 1843, enter. Address and search bar edit, blank, type of text, control plus L.
Way too fast.
I
Gotta
thought
slow it down for the people.
I thought I turned it down. I must have done a temporary decrease. My bad, people. My bad.
Slower, 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 slow, 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 slower, slower, slow, slower.
Oh, it makes my
Address and
brain
search
feel like
bar
it's
edit.
like a turtle.
Slowing down.
Slower.
Address and search bar edit.
All right, so I've got my address and search bar. It says edit, so I know it's an edit field. I'm gonna go to
V, D, O, dot ninja slash room equals A11Y selected.
it auto-filled something. Do you have a new one for me?
I don't, because I think it'll kick me out of where we currently are.
1, A.
So,
Well, I am just gonna go.
N-O-O-R question slash ninja selected, ninja unselected, blank,
All right, let's just see.
enter. Do.ninja dash Google Chrome dash Dorlan left parent person 1 tank right parent. Do.ninja. Page has 3 edits and 10 links there. 1 smart glance highlights on this page. Do.ninja visit link.
I
Go.
don't know why it's. I thought. All right, guys. I apologize that I have to keep slowing my rate down for you guys. I thought I had.
Slower. Visited link do.ninja enter a room name to quick join edit placeholder join by room name here.
So I
Go
need
toggle but go.
to find a room to try to get into. Is there a list here of random ones I can get into, Africa?
I
Language op
don't
create a room.
know that there are. I think you have to make
Camera
one up.
to
I'm
op.
just scared if I do that, it's gonna kick
Remote
me out. Let
screen
me just
share
see.
into op toggle
Join.
button.
You know, honestly, whatever you're sharing through, I'm coming through Zoom, right? So couldn't I leave Video Ninja theoretically
Actually,
and come back in?
try Ali Study because I just made that and it seems to have worked.
Wrapping to top. Enter a room name space. Enter a room A.
So A11YSTUDY.
Mm-hmm.
A11 history. Enter password edit. Blank.
password.
Type in text. Tab. Do.ninja. Heavy checkmark OK button to activate. Press enter.
Okay. I don't know what I'm saying okay
Heavy
to.
checkmark
but-
OK
Bye,
button.
Gina.
Enter. Do.ninja. Do.ninja colon A11 history. Page has one link. There are one smart glance highlights on this page. Do.ninja colon A11 history. Visited link. Do.ninja. Please select an option to join. Language options toggle button not pressed. Options.
All right, so here are the buttons I come across. We've got this toggle language button. I'm going to press my JAWS key, insert key plus up arrow to read what I'm on again.
Language options toggle button not pressed.
So it's not that button I'm having problems with. Sorry, it's the next button. So
Tab. Join room with camera toggle button not pressed. To toggle the state press space bar.
So it's this button here. It tells me I can toggle it to join it. Once I do that, it usually does something but doesn't let me in. So I'll hit that here.
Space alert. This page is accessing your microphone. Join room with camera toggle button not pressed. To toggle the state press space bar.
So it reads me the same thing it just read me, but I haven't gone into the room yet. So I'll hit it again. It should say the same thing again.
Space. Join room with camera toggle button not pressed. To toggle the state press space bar.
Yeah, so it's not letting me in and I can press enter here too.
Enter.
Nothing happens.
And nothing happens. And so we used to have Africa take control of my screen share, and then she could click this button because there's an on-click function on it, and we could get in.
So let me interject really quickly just in case anyone's confused. Robo asks, Ninja is a screen reading software? No. Video Ninja is the software that we use so that whoever wants to co-stream with me can show up on Twitch. So this is just her trying to get in there so that she'll pop up and you guys can see her like she's showing up on that screen because this is through Video Ninja. So I would have to press the start button because she couldn't use it. So we reached out to them and they did some type of workaround that Dorland's going to show you.
Well, I don't actually think I need to show them that because I don't need to get into this room immediately. I think we should do the inspect tool first.
Yeah.
But for anyone who does use Video Ninja and a screen reader and needs this super secret trick that they put in for us, you can press Alt S from this point. After you've hit enter on this toggle button once, then you can hit Alt S and actually enter the room. But there needs to be like an on key up or on key down type,
Where'd you get Alt S
Thing here.
from?
Our Video Ninja contacts email. It doesn't say it anywhere on the screen. Like it's literally my
he
super
told
secret way
us.
of getting in. Yeah. No, I'm not that good of a Nancy Drew.
I'm like, what the heck? Okay, so basically he told us a special way of getting in that is not intuitive because
he
you
made
wouldn't know.
one. He made
Right.
a keyboard shortcut for it as a workaround. But so I guess I can bring up those inspect tools and you can show me how to do that. I would use, yesterday when I was messing around with it, I was just bringing up the source code and I can find the line where this button is and it's missing. It has an on click, but it doesn't have anything for the keyboard, like an on key up or on key down. But then once you get into the room, there's the mute and the camera buttons. Those are all toggles like this one, and they have the on key up type tag. Is that what I want to use? Oh my goodness, guys, I need to study more. But anyway, that's not. So how would you like me to go about this, Africa? Should I go ahead and show the inspect tools?
Yeah, let's do it. Hold on. Amber Roses said, "Is the issue that there is only an on-click event on the button?" Like
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah. Like it's not a semantic button tag. No, it's not a semantic button tag.
It's
And we
a
would
div.
love to have him on the stream, but and show him exactly what's going on with it. I think that's where our breakdown in communication is because we haven't like reached out to him
Menus, blank.
about the actual fix. Uh-oh, what happened?
Did you lose me?
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, yeah, let me tell you what to do then.
Well,
back.
I'm sorry. I've lost Jaws.
Oh,
I
darn.
crashed him. Something's loading, I think. Let me see. Oh no,
Alt
guys.
tab. Select the camera integrated webcam checked.
Oh, there we go.
Alt tab. Leave menus. View source code https://go/button/ room equals a limited table with 2 columns of 1.
Yeah, okay. He's back. All right. So you want me to go back to the other page, but I know which line it was. So I was going to show people the line of code.
Yes, do that. That's smart.
All right. So.
Pause find dialog. Find with colon edit combo button to set the value. Use the arrow keys or type the value. Alt plus W. Not 1. 91. Enter.
You
91.
went down 91 row.
Not equals 4.
No. I've got better tricks than that. I do promise you that. I use a feature that's part of JAWS that's like a find function and it'll search for a string or whatever. So I searched for, I don't know exactly what I did, but I knew exactly that I was looking for something that was going to let me into that room. So I did some searches and found this. I also actually might have done on click because I knew there had to be, it was a non-native element that had to have an on click function because you could use your mouse to get in. And so I think I actually searched by that. Let's see, sorry.
Slower. 92. Less button on click equals quote jump to room left parent right parent semicolon quote ID equals quote jump to room button quote role equals quote button quote aria dash pressed equals quote false quote of index equals quote 1 quote alt equals quote join room quote title equals quote join room quote greater go less slash button greater.
All right, so there's our line to jump to the room. And it's got the on click on it.
Oh,
And
we can't
so-
see everything on this, and it's like a
Really?
horizontal.
You can't see what I'm on? That's interesting.
I can see what you're on. It's just,
highlight
can you
it?
maximize your screen?
Well, I thought I had. I apologize,
F11
guys.
alert. Press F11 to exit full screen. Press.
Okay, so there is a pretty large horizontal scroll on this. So the line that you're looking for is just cut off probably where we would see that. And can you go back to it?
Well,
It's
one really cool
right here.
feature of
Speech history.
uh
Exit full screen.
screen
Oh,
readers
yes.
is that there is a screen history or a speech history feature in them. It's called something else in NVDA, but you can pull up a window to see what the screen reader said, and it won't have a maddening long horizontal scroll. So I just brought that up. And can you see that line I just read, Africa?
F11.
Yeah,
Press.
so it's a button on click right here. I'm moving my cursor kind of like to highlight it for those who can see the screen. Button on click. So this is like turning the button to like you can only, well, I guess you can only click it.
No, this allows the mouse action. This is necessary.
Right.
This is necessary as well. They just don't also have a way to access it via the keyboard encoded in this line.
Right.
But now I'm going to go back over to my
Alt tab. View source code HTTPS
So
code
what
slash
should
slash
they
code.
have in this?
Chrome, the move like.
So let me show you one of the lines that they have that does work.
Jaws line dialog. Time with code
Perfect.
edit combo 91. The set value use the arrow keys or type the value 1, 6, 1. 161. Enter. 161. Less slash div greater. 161. Less div ID equals quote new button quote mouse down equals quote toggle new left there false. Event right there semicolon. Event not prevent default left there right there semicolon. Event not stop propagation left there right there semicolon. Quote data translate equals quote new dash dash quote title equals quote new. The mid left there control slash command plus m right there quote equals quote new. The mid quote r dash label equals quote new microphone quote on star equals quote toggle new left there false. Event right there semicolon. Event not prevent default left there right there semicolon. Event not stop propagation left there right there semicolon quote. The mid equals quote two quote roll equals quote button quote r dash press equals quote false quote on equals quote enter press left there event is right there semicolon quote class equals quote infloat quote style equals quote cursor colon pointer semicolon quote greater.
Okay, guys, I think it's right there in this line. And I realize my screen reader's like way too fast for anyone to hear it, but that's okay. The people who can understand screen readers can understand, and the people who can't are reading it probably anyway. Better for this part of it.
Equals quote.
But it's that,
Quote roll equals quote.
oh,
162. The index equals quote two quote roll equals quote button quote r dash press equals quote false quote on equals quote enter press left there event is right there semicolon quote class equals quote infloat quote style equals quote cursor colon pointer semicolon quote greater.
all right. So let's go back over to our speech history then.
Space.
And
Speech
it
history.
says, I believe,
The index equals quote two quote roll.
on key
The index
up
equals quote two quote.
after the tab index on this guy.
162. Equals quote roll quote two.
Okay, I
equals
see
quote.
now. Mute button.
Yes, because the mute button works. So I knew it worked. So I went in here to
The index
find
equals
it,
quote two
but
quote roll
it's
equals quote button quote r dash press equals quote false quote on equals quote enter press click.
on key
Equals
up.
quote two quote roll equals quote button quote aria dash press equals quote false quote audio
On key up
n k e y u p equals quote
equals
e left there
enter,
comma is right there semicolon e v e v
wait,
enter press click.
enter pressed click. And so I don't know exactly, I'm sure someone out there who's listening along understands this code better than I do, but whatever that enter pressed up, whatever this little bit of code is, it seems like it just needs to be inserted above. And then I'd be able to access it with my keyboard because I can access this mute button with my keyboard. And from what I understand, on key up and on key down, if you don't have one of those, if you're not using a native element for a button or something, you need one of those to access it with a keyboard. I also notice in their code here that they have an on touch, and it makes me wonder if, since they don't have that on touch on the initial button that we were looking at, if touchscreen users also can't get into the room. So I don't know. That's
a good question, actually. If anyone knows if we're right about this specific thing, what would make something able to be entered on like with the enter or space key versus only the mouse? RoboDom said the speed reading is something else. That is interesting. Is Dorlin using a screen reader on the HTML page? So yes, she's using a screen reader. She's using JAWS. And JAWS can read everything on the computer pretty much. If it's, coded or created in a way that it can access an accessibility API and read it. So that's something we wanted to show y'all because it's a good real world example of something where you can look to see why it's behaving the way that it's behaving, if that's something you want to do. It kind of depends on your role. If you're a developer here, this will be a little bit more intuitive to you and something that you can easily do and kind of just look and see what's happening. And if you're like a tester or something and you don't know code all that much, luckily together, we're going to be learning things like this very specifically in our upcoming weeks. So we'll get some practice on making things that actually work. We just haven't gotten there yet. But now we know why a screen reader is good at catching things like that. The last thing that I kind of want to do on this page is show Dorlin how to access the accessibility tree.
okay. Cool. Let's see. Where am I?
Title is speech history. Escape. The index equals quote two quote roll equals quote button quote
All right. I'm going to close out our source code here.
close document window. Go.ninja colon 11 history dash camera microphone recording dash Google Chrome dash left there person one hand right.
All right. And then from here, you want me to open the inspect?
Yeah, so you're going to right click, get to inspect.
I use my applications key, which apparently is going away. Oh no.
Context menu selected. Video settings.
The applications key on Windows is going away so that it can be replaced by what?
Like access to AI, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
access to AI, because Microsoft bought ChatGPT and they're like, we're going to put ChatGPT on everything. Okay.
Wait, where am I? I'm in here now. Where do I go?
So however you use your application, or however you right click, which I guess is the application is key, you're going to scroll down to inspect.
Oh, wait, am I not? I thought I was in there.
I don't see anything.
Oh. I moved away from there somehow. Okay, so.
Applications. Video settings. Button drop down. Context menu. Select the camera integrated web. Video settings. Choose
Ooh.
Oh, I need to be not on an element that I can do that on.
Select the camera integrated webcam. Checked. Blur back escape.
Oh. Oh my goodness, guys, what is going on?
More options for participants. Button drop down. Chat left arrow. Place right there button. Escape. Use virtual PC cursor off. Use virtual PC cursor on. Tab. More options for chat button drop. Show chat tab. Share left arrow plus. Tab. Pause share left arrow plus right there button.
I can't.
Tab. Annotate button.
I don't know how I'm gonna get to those.
Tab.
Darn.
Post. Open apps panel button.
All right, let me try again.
Applications.
Well, how about we just go to another page? I mean,
Will it work?
And
yeah,
then
we
we
can
can
go
go
on
from
any
there.
page. Go anywhere.
exactly. Yeah. So something that doesn't have only elements on it. Okay, so
We're running out of time. We got
are we?
9 minutes on this, which is just enough time to show you this, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Title is no Ninja Code A11. Control T.
Okay.
Join room with camera. Click this video for additional options. Start streaming. Back toggle button not pressed.
Something is going weird there.
Left third person one hand right there. No Ninja Code
So
A11.
first time in chat, Parano1 Polero said she's right. All that's missing is the on key up on the go button.
Thank you.
Thank you. We were really like, what is it?
Yay. I
Yeah,
am, I
this
am
has been
happy.
such a like
Okay.
journey. Truly.
All right. I think we should go to just a page that's got some heading structure and lists and stuff like that. I'm not sure what one would be, but
Ooh, man. Go to Free Code Camp.
Search box edit. Type in text. Your organization drop down open.
oops, that's not what I meant to do.
Type in blue tab dash Google Chrome dashboard left third person one hand right there. Blue tab dash Google Chrome dashboard blue tab. Alt E.
Am I in the search bar? It's not reading it.
Oh, go to
me.
the grocery delivery. Didn't we want to do that one? And Perfect Foods.
I don't think I have my password saved on this one, and I don't remember it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could see. We
There are
could.
no items on this page. Alt E.
Why is it not letting me?
Control T.
Something is being funny, guys.
Windows T. Folder view list 2. Google Chrome 1840 enter.
We'll just get a new one.
Address and search bar edit. Blank. Type in text. Control plus L.
Okay, we're gonna go to Imperfect Foods.
E R F E C T F O O D S M C O M.
I get deliveries
Enter.
from these guys each
Delivery for organic food. Which focuses more dash Google Chrome dashboard left there.
or every other week.
And Dorlin put me on, so now I do too.
I started using them at the height of the pandemic, and it was really hard to get grocery delivery, and I was just looking for anything I could get in with, and I started using them, but their level of access, it just drove me nuts. Like I couldn't use it well enough or fast enough, and so I stopped using them for a while. But they've always been receptive when I've emailed them about something, and I'm using them again, but let's see where they're at.
Slower.
So let me slow down so everyone can hear.
Slower.
Something that should drive our native screen reader users nuts.
Grocery delivery for organic food, fresh produce, and more.
Okay, so we just loaded this. So like I said, if I were gonna be auditing this, I would probably hit my H key, which is the quick key for heading in JAWS, and most screen readers are gonna be using that. You know, it's pretty standard.
Groceries that help you fight food waste heading level 1.
We got a heading level 1. Is that too slow, Africa?
Oh my gosh. I think it's like wildly
Hey,
slow.
chat.
For real, chat, tell us, is this too slow?
Seems too slow. I'm gonna give it a 1 bump,
Faster.
at least. Let us know.
All right.
Well, in the meantime, using H, I can just quickly find my headings.
Pantry heading level 2 button collapsed.
Oh, look, here's a heading level 2 and a collapsed button all in one. Someone was asking about those. Okay with that. Like, let me expand this button because I'm curious now.
Space expanded. Grocery delivery for organic
my
food,
goodness.
fresh produce and more. Heading level 2 button expanded pantry. To activate, press enter.
Yay, it kept my focus where it was supposed to. One of the things that used to drive me nuts about this site was it would move. But so it opened and I can now arrow down,
Your favorite staples at affordable prices.
I think.
So,
Heading level
Dorlin,
left
Oh
scroll-
no.
McAfee's coming for your neck again. You gotta, it's like taking up some space on your screen.
Hate them. I tell you what, y'all, I downloaded Adobe against my wishes, and it came with some spamware called McAfee.
Alt tab.
Ugh.
Tab dash alt tab. Screen share alt tab. Do.net alt tab. Grocery delivery alt tab. New tab dash
It's
Google
not
Chrome.
even.
Alt tab. Screen alt tab. Do.
Oh
alt tab.
no, I think every
Alt
time I've
tab.
had to do it for you.
Alt shift tab. Grocery.
I hate these people. Sorry, guys. The life of a screen reader. Anyway, what were we doing?
Also,
We don't have a lot of minutes. Go ahead.
Oh, I forgot about that. We got 5
I'm going to
minutes.
turn off JAWS and turn on NVDA just to show how quick and easy it is to test with different things. If that's okay,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to do.
Well, I'm pretty
Tell
curious
me.
about seeing you just go through the whole website, and then
Okay.
telling us which keys you're hitting, and like what your rationale behind the things that you're looking for is. Which will
Okay.
take us a little bit more time than the 4 minutes that we have, so we can just end this and then just pop back in.
All right, that works.
All right, so I'm gonna end
All
it
right.
and then open it again and see you in here.
Okay, perfect.
All
All right, so I'll head back over the Zoom thing then.
All right, let's see. Dang, they rude. They said start my next meeting in 9 minutes. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm gonna have to go to Video Ninja and unmute myself there so that I can tell Dorlin this. Where is she? Leave. Oh, I think she unmuted me. Let me see. Oh, it says no audio. Allow. Dorlin, can you hear me? Oh, now I have to unmute you and do the whole thing.
Sorry about that. Leave me where
No, I can't. So that everyone can actually hear you. And I think I have to Okay, so here's what's happening. The new thing, I guess, Zoom has gotten smart and savvy, and they're like, oh, you want to go back into your meeting? You got to wait 10 minutes.
Oh, snaps. Okay, fine,
So,
Zoom. Fine. Well,
whatever.
in the meantime, I do have a voiceover on my iPhone turned on. We could do like our Discord on there
Yes, but also before you do that, let me read some of the comments.
for our 10 minutes. Yeah.
The closed horse, when we're talking about the speed, said that it's pretty slow. I feel like the closed horse has used screen readers though before, so tell me if I'm wrong about that. Robodom said, I mean, since I'm seeing it in action for the first time, it doesn't feel too slow to me, which is good to know. Thank you for sharing that. And the closed
That
horse
is good.
said, that's a fair point, Robodom. And then he said, I wouldn't mind it going faster though.
Okay.
Parano 1D Poloro asked, does JAWS have a shortcut for navigation elements like headings?
Yes.
H, right?
H, that's what I was using. You can actually pull up a list of headings too. You can pull up a list of any of your elements, actually. If you wanted a list of all your links, a list of all your headings, a list of all your buttons, a list of all your form fields, which is actually really cool. If you're filling out a form, then you can pull that up and see if you filled everything out. Yeah, all those things.
Oh, Jam. Robo said, very cool stuff. Jam said, yes, JAWS has shortcuts for navigating. You can use H or the number associated with the level of the heading. I have never done that.
That is true. Oh, you know what? That's why, when we do our reports, how you asked me what heading level I wanted at, why I'm specific. It's because I use my numbers 1 through 6 to jump down. So I know, our notes are all heading level 4. So I just hit number 4 and I'm right at our first note.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. So wow. The close horse said, yes, that's true. I'm using them with deck studies. So the fun thing about screen readers is you can train your brain to listen to them very fast. Because the first time I heard someone use a screen reader, I was like, how do you even, it sounds like blah, 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 blah. And now I can listen to it like just as fast. And it's just because you just turn the speed up 1 point every day and you will have gotten to where we are for sure. But it does take some practice. Perino said HTML also has dedicated navigation elements independent of headings. Yes, they do. Like nav, footer, main, aside. Am I thinking of something else?
In terms of JAWS shortcut keys, you can use Q to get to the main region. So I love it when people designate a main region properly. You can use R to jump from region to region. So if you have designated a nav region, a main region, a footer region, whatever, you can jump between those different ones. So that's nice too. I think it's D in NVDA. Some of these shortcut keys are different from one to another, but there are shortcut keys for all of the different elements. But yeah, definitely those regions are nice. I do tend to start out by heading because it's kind of like that should be an outline of your page,
So James Curl said, one key up and on-click are used with JavaScript for buttons. I didn't get a chance to look at the code closely before we moved on, but button elements in HTML should natively be accessible by keyboard. And that's why I got confused. Because
it wasn't a button. It had role equals button. So they were using ARIA.
Button, it said button. At the beginning.
Well, we're going to have to go back and look now. I think it was
That's
a
why
div.
I thought it was like something
No, I
else.
think it was a div. It's a div with an ID. Well, all right, we can. All right, I'm going right now. You keep reading comments. I'm gonna go find it.
Oh yes, I feel like I saw a button and I was like, wait a minute. But I think that was changed because I remember that. I don't believe that was a button the first time, and I think because it's a button, you can actually select it now. It's just written weirdly.
No, see the thing, if it was a button tag there, and maybe it is. Let me go get over there. But you shouldn't even have to. There's no reason to put an on click on it either. It should have all of those functions already. Because
I think
go ahead.
What they're saying is with the way that they use JavaScript, is why it was written like that.
They use JavaScript to break HTML or something?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's one of those things that happens a lot, where they're just messing around with what should natively work or creating a function that just behaves strangely. But they said that on key up and on click are used with JavaScript for buttons. But it is labeled as a button. I think Amber Roses said it did say button.
All right.
James Curl said it said button. The mute was in a div, which is interesting because the mute worked. But the mute, well, yeah, we're gonna actually take a look at this again. But the mute
one had to.
And the good thing about that is you can share your screen on Video Ninja, and I could just. Well, don't do that actually, because when I make you big, it loses resolution, so we might as well wait. I'm going to read more of these. It's a hot topic, it seems like. Karina, no, wrong place. Okay, Tam said, I love that tip. Turn the speed on one notch every day. I will try that. Yeah, that's what I did when I started working at my current job because we use JAWS every day. And some of my coworkers were listening to it so fast that it just blew my mind. And I was like, I'm going to try to listen to it super fast. And it only took me like a month. And I was listening to it super fast. Karina Merck said, how long should the region names be? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
How long should the regions be?
Long should the region names be?
Oh, I would keep those short. I mean, navigation main. Like if you're actually labeling one yourself, you know? I don't know. I would also, I mean, honestly, I don't think that navigating by region is how a lot of screen readers jump in and do things. It might be. I mean, I don't know. It's certainly not how I was instructed to when I first started learning to do it. You know, you learn headings first. You learn that H key really to begin with. And like I didn't realize you could jump by region at first. I mean, you can also jump actually by paragraph. So any of your P elements, you know, you can jump by article if you use those. But that doesn't mean people are necessarily using them to do that.
Amber Rosa said, I'm still confused by the buttons as well. I always thought on click and on key up were not ideal because you should use the button tag. But the first button we looked at did have the button tag. I wonder if that was missing the submit tag. And that I don't even know anything about. So we're going to look at it again. And hopefully there'll still be some people here who like know what everything's supposed to say. And we'll just look at that. James, okay, Perano said button inside of a form have default keyboard behavior, I think, but buttons outside of a form need a manual JS action handler. Go was a button, was a div. JM Sorrel said, it looks like they are doing something with JavaScript that is interfering with the native functionality of the button. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Yep, they coded the div correctly to act like a button. So they did it correctly to act like a button, but then they used the actual button. And then JavaScript did something to it that like just... JavaScript, you can write JavaScript in so many different ways, and it kind of... because it'll do anything you tell it to do, it kind of like acts oddly sometimes because it's not very opinionated. The mute... Perano said the mute handled the keyboard events. Karina said survey shows about 3% navigate by landmarks. Interesting. All right, let's try Zoom again.
What percent navigate by landmarks?
3%.
All right, I don't know where that stat came from, but I'll be honest, that sounds about right. I mean, also landmarks are so rarely used well. I don't know, I don't want to say that, but like I feel like I find more pages that have like the whole page wrapped in a main region like it's a body tag or something than like actual main region. Some of them are good though. All right,
we're actually rolling up on our third hour.
Oh my goodness,
which feels a little off. We're in hour 2, I think. I don't know what's the time anymore.
That sounds right. It is.
We're about to
6:12. We started at 4.
Okay.
So yeah.
Something dinged. I don't know what it means. I can't really see it. But thank you, whoever it is. One day I'll get better at reading whatever happens on my screen. Sorry. I'm not a real streamer yet. All right. It is kind of our top of the hour. Time to take a 5-minute stretch break. I really want to stick to every hour taking a 5-minute break. First time in chat, Samuel Animates. Oh my God, just saw this on my recommended. Thanks for hosting. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dr. Tony said, is that from a WebAIM survey? Karina said, from screen reader survey from WebAIM. Yep. Samuel Animates said, looks like I missed a lot, but I love this. Well, you can just watch it on YouTube if you want to. This was actually a really good one. We're learning a lot together today. It's pretty fun. Plants and Pajamas said, thank you so much for everything today. Okay, so we're going to still be here for maybe another 30 minutes, and we're just going to be doing screen reader stuff with Dorland. She's going to show us how she navigates And then before that, we're going to look at this source code and figure out this button situation. And I really hope that someone here, Ambrosis has to leave. She says, but they say, but that was great. Thank you. I will join next week as well. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. For those of y'all who are warriors and still going to be here, we need to take our 5-minute break. And we'll be back and we'll be doing screen reader stuff on Zoom. Super excited. We'll see you soon.
All right.
My mic wasn't on. Sorry, y'all. I was saying, let me turn Ninja Video off. My Samsung share is on. All right, cool. So just let us know if you can hear us. I know there's a few of us left here. We're going to go ahead and look at this source code again for the button. Let's see if it was tagged as a button.
All right. So I think it was tagged as a button. Oh, is it loading? What's going on? I lost my jaws for a moment.
It's still on the same page.
Alt tab to move line and press the arrow keys. Alt tab screen sharing meeting controls to move line and press the arrow keys. Screen sharing meeting controls. Alt tab view source code https://code/slash room equals 11 history dash Google Chrome. Mute microphone toggle button press to toggle the state.
Oh, now it's gone.
Mute microphone toggle button press.
Now you're
Contents vertical bar web accessibility testing colon screen reader. Switch on left there window right.
now you're on Deck University.
Mute microphone toggle button press to toggle the state press space bar.
Now
Alt tab
you're
screen sharing meeting controls to move line and press the arrow keys. Alt tab view source code https://
There it is.
room equals 11 history dash Google Chrome.
Yeah, when I get back, oh, there we go.
Let HTML and equals quote unquote 2.
Oh, I'm back at the top. Okay, here we go, guys.
Sauce line dialog. 5 with colon edit combo 91.
We're going back to line 91.
91.
And it was a button.
Left button equals quote jumper room left there right there semicolon quote ID equals quote jumper room button quote equals quote button quote express equals quote false quote index equals quote 1 quote equals quote join room quote title equals quote join room quote greater slash button greater.
All right.
On click,
Bring
jump
up our
the room.
speech history.
Left button equals quote jumper room left there right there semicolon quote ID equals quote
There you go. Is that easier to see?
equals quote jumper room left there right there semicolon quote
Yeah,
ID.
what I'm guessing, and I could be wrong, but jump to room appears to be a function and it's saying on click. Maybe this function, the way that they've written the function in JavaScript, does something that interferes with how the button is behaving. So that's good to know to bring up, as we talk to them. All right, mystery solved. Let's look at one of the ones that does work so we can kind of compare what these two look like.
Okay.
James Curl said, yep, that's it. Oh, yay. We got it right. We know why it's wrong.
Woohoo. Well,
The function needs to have keyboard accessibility written into it, right? So this is why we say don't mess around with the HTML, the functionality of it, because you're going to have to like reinvent the wheel when it already comes with something that it can do. Yeah.
but yeah, it sounds like it's a pretty easy fix for them. They just need to put a little line in there.
Yeah.
Make this function run on key press as well.
Right.
On key up. All right. Well, cool. Yay.
Thanks, JMC. Can you show us what the button that does work looks like?
I would love to.
5 with colon edit combo set the value use the arrow keys or type the value alt plus 1 6 1 161 enter list button equals quote jumper room left there right there semicolon quote ID equals quote jumper room button 161 to set the value use the arrow keys or type the value
Oh,
161
did it not go?
enter 161 to set the value use the arrow alt plus W 91 all equals quote enter room name to join quote 91 escape list button equals quote jumper room left there right there semicolon quote ID escape
What happened? Sorry, guys.
sauce line dialog 5 with colon edit combo 91 to set the value use the arrow keys or type the value alt plus
All
W
right, here we go. We want to play 1.
5 5 6 1 161 enter 161 listed ID equals quote new button quote mouse down equals quote toggle new left there false event right there semicolon event not prevent default left there right there semicolon event not stop propagation left there right there semicolon quote data dash translate equals quote new dash mid quote title equals quote new the mid left there control slash command plus M right there quote equals quote new the mid quote R dash label equals quote new microphone quote stop equals quote toggle new left there false event right there semicolon event not prevent default left there right there semicolon event not stop propagation left there right there semicolon quote so index equals quote 2 quote roll equals quote button quote R equals quote false quote equals quote enter press click left there event is right there semicolon quote class equals quote info quote style equals quote cursor colon pointer semicolon quote greater
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
they're all divs.
space
And so now I'll bring up the speech history again so that you don't have to worry about that scroll. And hopefully people who are here looking at the code can see that. That was a really long string. I know that when I combed through here, I was able to find the on key up equals, and then there's some kind of
Enter, press, click, event this. So this is just another JavaScript.
event that they've put in there.
Right. And it's different. So it's one that works, which is nice, but this should have just been it shouldn't have been. It should have been a. Well, it's kind of like a toggle, right? Or of some sort, because it's turning something off and then on. Is that the right way to word it?
Yeah, it's a toggle.
Yeah. So, Robodom asks, when you and Dorlin are doing audits, do you have to be that specific when assessing the accessibility of a website? No, we don't. We're just extra AF for no reason. We're gonna actually
we're so extra.
Yeah, we are so extra. We're like, I think it's because we kind of know how to code. We're always like, how did this happen? Why? And then we're like, let's look at the source code. We don't need to do this for our job at all. It's just the fact that we can, and that we're just like extra that we do it. It's nice to know for us because we're just genuinely curious. But if you're just doing testing of a regular website and you're not like the accessibility engineer who's literally going in and writing the code and doing all that stuff, actually Dorland's going to show you how we do it. Let's go over back to Imperfect Foods. Robodom said, we like that you two are extra. It's helping us learn. Well, thank you.
Cool.
Thanks for letting us blow off steam by auditing on our days off, on our time off. Also, you know, if you want an Imperfect Foods code, I'm just saying, me and Dorland could hook you up for $30 off. I don't know how this has become an Imperfect Foods commercial. But
I know, it's true. It's true.
We'll split it. You know, you get one code from Dorland and another one from me. Just saying. All right, let's go over to Imperfect
All right.
Foods.
Where are we going? All right.
We have to sell this site, okay?
I know, right? And I don't know that it's a perfect. Well, and I know it's not perfect. It's imperfect accessibility over here, but they're trying. And I had emailed them once because they had an issue with like a heading thing, and they fixed it, and so that was cool. But that was before I knew much of anything, and now here we are. Okay, so my focus is still where we were,
and expand it fully, if you can.
F11. Alert. Press F11 to exit full screen. Press F11 to exit full screen.
F11. Samuel Animate said, "Oh my gosh, auditing on our time off. Ha 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 ha." Yeah, I mean, when I say it out loud, I'm like, oh gosh.
I'm constantly. I don't know what I just went into. I was on I'm not even gonna say their name, but it's a site where you would buy things specifically for people who are blind, and I found so many unlabeled links. I was just like, why? Anyway,
Slower.
let's slow this guy down.
Reduce heading level 2 button collapsed.
Is that a good speed?
I think so.
Okay, guys, we'll try that.
Reduce heading level 2 button collapsed.
So it's telling me this button's collapsed. I thought I had expanded, but I guess that was a different button I expanded. So I would normally just go through quickly heading by heading. So I'm going to do that and see how many I've got here.
Snacks heading level 2 button collapsed. Plant-based heading level 2 button collapsed. Dairy heading level 2 button collapsed. Meat and fish heading level 2 button collapsed. And more heading level 2 button collapsed.
And that's really good. It's giving me a good sense of what's on this site so far.
Affordable groceries delivered weekly to your door heading level 2. Grocery delivery done the right way heading level 2.
And Imperfect Foods can send me a coupon if they'd like for the free commercial.
Partners who share our values heading level 2.
Seriously, give us a sponsorship.
Made with rescued ingredients heading level 2. Taking a bite out of food waste heading level 2. 98765432109 98765432109
I don't think I just hit control to shush my jaws on that because it seemed like it was going to go for a while. I don't think this needs to be a heading, whatever this is.
Heading level 3 9876543.
Oh yeah.
This long number.
Food recovered.
But let's see. Let's keep hitting H.
98765.
And we can't see what that is.
Ooh. I don't know what's going on down there, guys, but they got something weird going on there. But I could bring up a list of my headings with insert, I think F6. Let's try insert F6.
Heading list dialog.
Yeah.
Headings list view.
What is that?
987654321
Oh, and there's a whole bunch of them, huh?
Hungry for more? Our customers have said.
Interesting. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. But so I brought up a list of my headings and I'm just arrowing down through them now. And this is the same thing as pressing H for me on the website. It's just a little more in one spot.
Hungry for more, -3, 19 of
And if I
23.
wanted to like jump to this place on my page, I could push enter here.
Enter.
Should, I think.
Heading level 3, hungry for more.
Yep. Hungry for more.
Link to all list.
So those are my headings. And once I get to the bottom,
Jump to line dialog. Enter one number
oops,
left there and escape.
accidentally hit J instead of H.
That was imperfect. Word. Heading level 4 button collapsed. What products do you have? Heading level 4 button collapsed. What makes some of the food imperfect? Heading level 4 button collapsed.
Oh man, they got a lot of headings.
A
This is a
little
big site.
slower, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Slower. Slower. Wrapping the top. Groceries that help you fight food waste. Heading level 1. Slower. Slower.
All right. So we wrapped to the top once I got to the bottom of my headings. I'm gonna hit G for graphic now.
Photo of pantry products graphic.
Photo of pantry products. You don't need to put photo. Well, I guess it's a photo instead of a
It's
like
like a-
an
it looks like
animation
a-
or something.
It looks like a postcard
Photo of pantry products graphic.
Photo of
with the
pantry
imperfect
products.
food box filled with a bunch of groceries.
Okay. Let's hit G again. Let's see what other graphics they got here.
Groceries being taken out of and put into an imperfect foods delivery box graphic.
Oh, that's a good one. That's exactly
that
what
was-
it is.
That was good alt text. I liked that.
Well, no,
How's
it's
the-
not. It's not. You know why?
Oh,
Because it's
really?
dynamically moving and it's saying add in, take out, and it says delivered to your door, pre-filled weekly.
Oh no.
Yeah, but like,
See,
you know, I'm not that mad at it, I guess, because it's basically,
great.
yeah, it's moving.
This is literally how we audit, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I found this graphic. She's like, no, let me tell you. All right.
Two Purple Shoes said, are they graphics? Are those headings graphics? No, I don't think the headings are graphics. Right now, we're actually looking at graphics, but good thing to think about, because if you hit a graphic and it's like, I don't think it would be a heading level, but like if you hit a graphic that appears to be text, that is problematic because you're not supposed to do that. You should have it actual text and not a picture of text, so that assistive technology can parse through it without having to figure out like, oh, it's a graphic of text that goes with the structure of the page.
And for resizing for low vision folks, when they're resizing things, it's not going to change your image. Need that real text. But yeah, we switched to hitting G for graphic 2 elements ago, once we wrapped to the top. So we had that first graphic, and then this one that's moving, that's not great alt text, even though on first glance it seemed like. So let me hit G again.
Imperfect foods van delivering groceries from warehouse graphic.
Okay, you want me to tell you what it is? These.
Is it not a van delivering groceries from the warehouse?
Oh, it really is. But these are all GIFs, so they're moving. It's like a van going from the imperfect foods place to like a bunch of different houses on this curvy circular road. It's actually very cute. But I'm not really that mad at their descriptions, because they're telling you what it is, and it would be so verbose if they, like, the thing about alt text is it really is an art. You want it to be succinct, but you want it to say what's on there, and you don't want it to give you too much information that doesn't add to the context in a meaningful way. But I like to explain in great detail for some reason. When it comes to me,
I'd love to
explaining it
know
to
what's
you.
going on.
Yeah.
Well, and like the thing is, as auditors, we're checking, or as a tester, if you're building something, you should be testing and making sure that your images all have alt text, and we're checking to make sure websites have them. But as an assistive technology user, like if I were actually on this imperfect food site trying to glean information, I might read from top to bottom, and therefore I will come across these graphics. But I'm probably not going to be navigating by graphics in order to get my information.
Right.
Unless for some reason, like maybe it's like an art history page, in each like one, like the graphic is the beginning. Well, even then you should have headings. I don't know, but some places I might realize that graphic is the most efficient way to navigate a site. That's probably not how it should be though. But anyway, so we're looking at graphics. We could probably call it here on graphics, and do a couple other elements like our links.
So links, we would hit U for
Yes,
unvisited and V for visited, or no?
indeed.
Okay.
You got it. You got it. Unvisited and visited.
Porano said, imperfect HTML is part of the brand promise. That's a good one.
Well done.
Yeah, we're not mad at anyone who, when we reach out to them, they're like, thanks for letting us know, and then they actually attempt to fix it. So for us, Imperfect Foods, we're not roasting them. These are our buddies. We're just like, well, these are good examples. And
I will send them an email at some point and let them know a couple things. Because I use their app as well on my iPhone, and there's a part in there, if you're in your cart, it'll have a list of all the things that you have in there. If you and it'll read to you all these functions at the end of that list. And if you double tap, the first one is to delete that item. So all of a sudden it's gone. And at that point you realize, oh no, I was supposed to use the functions in my rotor to interact with that instead. Because you think double tap on something usually activates it. It doesn't usually delete it unless you've been warned. And so like I've accidentally deleted things out of my cart because of that. And I'm going to let them know. And I bet they do something. We'll see. But anyways, this is their main page. We're not logged in. So I'm going to hit you for unvisited link. I think most of them should be unvisited.
oh, can you put get started for free so we can see some forms?
Say it again.
Get started for free so we can see some of the forms, like as if you were filling stuff out.
I would love to.
To the point of not roasting our friends, we also want to reiterate that when it comes to Video Ninja, those are also our friends, because anyone who's helping us out when we ask for them to fix it, like, more power to them for sure. And we'll get with them.
I think after this, stream, we'll be able to let them know, and hopefully they'll fix it. I think they will. I mean, like I said, they added that little keyboard trick so that I've been able to get in now. I hit Alt S. It's Dorland's special keyboard shortcut.
Literally SS. Two Purple Shoes said, do you check the links list to see if they have meaningful names out of context? Yeah.
Yes. I actually just pulled up the links list.
It's right here.
Yep. So I pressed my insert key and F7, and this brought me up a list of all the links on the page. So I can go down and, like they said, I missed who commented, but to make sure that the links make sense out of context. You shouldn't have a bunch of click here's.
Imperfect Food logo 2 of 27. Our food 3 of 27. How it works 4 of 27. Impact 5 of 27. Wondering how we do it 6 of 27. See how 7 of 27. See all FAQs 8 of 27. FAQs 9 of 27. Resources 10 of 27. Our packaging 11 of 27. Impact 12 of 27. Log 13 of 27. Jobs 14 of 27. Contact us 15 of 27. Imperfect Foods logo 60. Find us on Instagram left parent opens it. Find us on Facebook left parent opens it. Find us on Twitter left parent opens it. Find us on TikTok. Find us on
Where's Get Started?
Get it on Google Play 20. Terms and conditions.
It must have been a button.
California
I think it is a button, actually. Yes, it is. It looks like a button, so I'm assuming that's how.
Okay, guys, I have gone back up to the
styling.
top of my page, and I'm going to hit B now for button.
Learn more button.
Learn more.
Get started.
That looks like a link.
There's our real. See, I think this is one of those pages that doesn't quite understand, whoever put it so succinctly earlier, links go places, buttons
do things.
All right, so let's
Get started for free button.
I'm going to hit enter on my get started for free button.
Enter.
Oh my gosh, I just realized, and when it comes to buttons and links, I'm gonna be real. Like I don't expect like that's not something I'm like, oh, you're dumb for not knowing that. Obviously a button does this or that. It's more of like a fake pet peeve of mine where I'm just like, no, but I used to do it all the time, to be honest, and probably still have the same things on my own website. Oh my gosh. Okay. I thought it was going to be bigger than this. There's only 2 things. Oh, you can press continue. Okay, let's go.
Zip code edit required. Blank placeholder.
Okay,
Enter 5-digit zip
guys.
code.
So let me go back up to the top.
And make it
Obviously, we're not-
slower, I think, again.
Slower, 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 slower. Congress, you've earned $30 off. Slower. Congress, you've earned $30 off across your first 3 orders of $35 or more.
That could be y'all. If you hit us up, we'll send you.
Actually, I think that's just for joining. You get that offer. I think if you hit us up, you get a better one. Actually, when you joined Africa, this offer was better than the one I could have given you.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway.
I remember that.
But, okay, so I went up to the top. I know that this is a form, so I can press F, and that'll take me to any form field. That's my quick key for that, so we'll hit that here.
Zip code edit required. Blank placeholder. Enter a 5-digit zip code.
Ooh, that was good. I know it's a zip code. I need to enter a 5-digit zip code, and it's required. So let's see.
Space. Main region. Zip code edit required as pop-up. Blank placeholder. Enter a 5-digit zip code. Type in text.
Uh-oh.
Okay. What?
I'm like, your email's showing. No.
Oh,
Escape.
no.
Cursor.
Let me make this
That's okay.
little for now. Tiny.
Well, let's see.
Zip code edit required.
That's
as pop-up
okay.
Menu. Placeholder. Enter a 5-digit zip code.
Well, now
Space.
you know how to hit Dorland up. I accidentally put my email all over the internet, but now I get really nice emails from people. And I'm just like, I'm glad I did that, actually.
That's so funny. All these darn
Zip code edit required as pop-up
autofill.
menu. Placeholder. Enter a 5-digit zip code.
All right, so let's see. A 5-digit zip code. Let's go with.
Autofill is box expanded. Manage addresses. 2 of 2.
Oh my goodness.
8. Import 0. 8. 2. 9. 0 8 2 9. Tab. Email edit required as pop-up. Blank placeholder. Email. Type in text.
I think that's one of my. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Do I need to put an email in here to sign up?
Just
Can I
make
put
a
something
fake one.
A required. N. K.
I hope it doesn't say, like, check your email right now.
A. I. L. Gmail.
We'll
O.
find out.
Tank.
Contact. Service link.
Terms of service.
Tab. Privacy policy link. Tab. Continue button to activate. Press enter. Enter. Congress, you earned $30 across your first 3 orders of $35 or more.
Maybe create an account, but I guess that's all you
Maybe.
need. Dang.
I
That's
don't
wild.
know. You know, it might have just sent me an email letting me know if we're in or not. I don't know. I'm a little thrown off because I would expect this page to start reading to me again, and it never did. So I don't know if anything loaded. I'm going to press
It did.
my.
$30 across your first 3
It
orders of $35 or
did.
more.
That's
Learn
kind
more.
of a bummer.
Visit link graphic slash. Main region. Heading level 1 word. List of free items. Shop on mobile graphic. Shop during your shopping window. 4 p.m. Shop our catalog of over 700 products, including our rescued favorites.
It got fast
Slower,
again.
slower. Pre-filled box graphic. We'll start your cart with $35.98 add or remove anything in your personal delivery to your door graphic. Your first delivery will slower. Your weekly delivery list end. Free shipping for orders $6.
Well, I feel like we should try another form then somewhere. But
All right, try it in NVDA, and then we're gonna slowly transition out of here.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to close out of JAWS then.
Unloading JAWS. Quit JAWS dialog. Are you sure you want to quit JAWS? Press enter to quit now or save text enter. Imperfectfoods.com/join/quiz/summary-google.
All right, and then I'm gonna launch NVDA by pressing Control Alt N,
And
as
I'm
in
gonna
Nancy.
interrupt really quickly. Samuel Animates said, I have to run, but to check, is this every Thursday? Yes, this is every Thursday at 4 p.m. unless Eastern Standard Time, unless we just are doing something else or don't feel like it. But yeah, pop in on us around that time. Join us on Discord if you haven't already, because that's where we put all the announcements about when we're having streams and if we're doing makeup days. Sometimes we do it on a different day. Tams asked, question for Dorlin, when bringing up the list of links, what about the repeated non-unique links like Impact? If they have IDs attached to them, does this get announced as you go down the list of links? IDs don't get announced, right? Just the label. Yeah. Just whatever it's labeled, the name.
If it's taking you to the same place, it can have the same label, you know. If they had 2 links that both took me to the Impact page, both should be labeled actually as Impact, I feel like. Consistency.
All right. Let's move on to using NVDA. We're just going to show you one more screen reader. This is the one that everyone should be able to access for free. It's open source. It's called NVDA. They're great. You can donate to them or just use it for free. JAWS is like either $1,000 or $90 a year, so it's not as accessible for those who don't have the funding or resources to get the funding for it.
Yeah, I just found out the annual license, the $90 a year, which is how I pay for it. That's not available in most countries. It's mostly just, I think, like US and Canada, or US maybe even. But so NVDA is free. I actually downloaded it on my computer this afternoon. It took me about 10 minutes. It was kind of cool. Once I hit the download button, there was some NVDA playing before it even downloaded. So you had the screen reader throughout the download process. I don't know how you get to this screen without a screen reader, but it's cool that they activated that before it was fully downloaded. I mean, you could do narrator. But anyway, they also give you the option to put a keyboard shortcut on as you're downloading it. It's actually automatically checked. So once you download it, you can press Control-Alt-N as in Nancy, and it'll open. I think I hit it.
We have 10 minutes left on the Zoom as well.
Oh no.
Oh, I need to make sorry y'all.
Why is it not launching? Go ahead.
Yeah, I can see Samuel was trying to put Discord as a command in the chat. I don't have any command set up. I don't really know how to do it. If anyone wants to help me with this stuff, feel free. Robodom, thank you for putting the GitHub, the Discord.
Welcome to NVDA dialog. Welcome to NVDA.
Is not on my GitHub profile. Usually I just give it to people during the stream, but you can reach out to me on GitHub somehow. Okay, there goes NVDA.
Yeah, we got NVDA here. So I don't know what happened to my quick key, but I just did run Windows R, then NVDA.
Mm-hmm.
Rate 95, rate 80.
Turn him down a little bit. But if you go to nvaccess.org/download, you can download it, or just Google NVDA, non-visual desktop access. Donate to them. They're open source. They help, blind people who don't have the funds to pay for another screen reader be able to access things. So that's cool. But it took me like 10 minutes. It was super easy. And so now,
welcome to NVDA.
Let me head over to
imperfectfoods.com. Clickable congrats. You've earned $30 off across your first 3 orders, $35 or more button. Learn more. Banner landmark visited link www.imperfectfoods.com visited link graphic. Main landmark heading level 1 how it'll work. List with 3 items graphic shop on mobile. Shop during your
oh my goodness, he's reading everything there. When I went back over. So NVDA though is gonna really work in very similar ways to JAWS. But it's just so easy to switch back and forth between the two. Unload one and load another, and test quickly, make sure everything's working right.
Watch your impact grow. Heading level 2. Why we're different heading level 3.
L for list.
List with 4 items, skip an order, pause, or cancel anytime.
All right, cool. I think we got the gist of using a screen reader.
Dialogue. What would you like to do?
Combo box. Encourage everyone here to that nice little thing to download one or use one yourselves. They're pretty cool to use and interesting to navigate through on your accessibility journey. Robo asks, do you use Stream Elements or Nightbot? I do not use any of those. I don't have a lot of time to set this stream up. I kind of just wing it. I would love help, but I just don't even have the time to direct help. But I would love help if someone wanted to help me with those things. James Curl said NVDA heart. Okay, so yay. I'm gonna stop sharing that screen and put us on the big screen, and I'm gonna leave this up for us to answer any questions that y'all may have and read some of these comments so that Dorlin can catch up where we are, because there were a few I think on here somewhere. James Curl said, this is the button. This is for the button. I ChatGPT to give us an example of a button code that would activate a function with the keyboard and a mouse. Here's what it said. Button type equals button. On click equals my function, parentheses, open and close. On key press equals handle key press in parentheses event. Excuse me. I'm a button is the text, and then slash, the closing tag for button. If you're wanting this to emulate button behavior in your JavaScript, you would need to write the handle key press function to handle the enter key and spacebar key, something like E key exactly equals whatever, E key exactly equals enter. Or is triple equal signs, is that exactly equals? I don't remember. My bad, y'all. Thank you. All right. Well, I hope that everyone can still hear you, because I'm assuming that they can, because you're coming through on my Zoom. So it's a weird way to do things, but I have run out of gas. It's almost 7. That means we have done 3 hours this time. So it's one of our long ones. James Curl said, yes, 3 equal signs is exactly equals. Oh, I remember. I feel like I'm rusty, but and on Zoom we have 4 minutes left. So we're gonna spend the next 4 minutes just kind of hanging out, answering questions. Next week we're jumping into HTML, y'all, and we're gonna build a mini page of our own. Okay, get ready. There's homework if you're in the Discord. There's links to Semantic HTML, Free Code Camp, and Scrimba courses where you can actually do the HTML and it'll populate it real live. It's really cool. We're gonna do that together. We're gonna do a practice of one together. All of us. Hopefully everyone will actually participate on their own computers and do it with us. And then we're gonna build a really simple landing page with elements like form fields and buttons and links and headers and, well, not headers, headings and navigation sections and footers. And it's gonna be classic, regular, degular HTML, vanilla AF, no CSS, unless you want to be extra and you're already a developer and you know how to do that really fast, and absolutely no JavaScript, obviously. So the point of it is just to learn about the key elements that you use when you're using HTML and making sure that they're semantic. Let's see. Thank you. This was fun, James Coral. Thank you. Robodom said, appreciate your time. Darlin Africa, we appreciate you, Robo. CJ Aki said, yes, thank you. Robodom said, that sounds fun. Yeah, I'm excited for HTML because it's going to be our first study group together where we're actually coding. So we've been looking at code, we've been talking about code, but we haven't gotten our hands on the keyboard other than to do screen readers, which is kind of on there, right? So remember, Discord, all the homework's in there. If you are not already a developer who's not familiar with HTML, or you're very, very rusty because all you do is use React and like never think about HTML or something, I don't know, or you're using like a framework with a million layers, it's a good refresher so that you come kind of understanding, ready to kind of go with us. But we will be doing it together if you don't want to do homework. Homework is for those who are like actually trying to get the WAS or who really, really want to learn it. Otherwise, you can just show up to our streams and just follow along and have a good time with us. Robo said, I'm excited for HTML because it's less complicated than CSS and JS. Yeah, that's why I love it. That's why I'm not a full-time developer, because we got 1 more minute, y'all. Any last words, Dorlin? Yeah, I'm gonna have you share your screen so that, you know what I wanted to see? I wanted to see how a screen reader works with, like actually coding something. I've never tried or seen that, so I think that'll be cool.
You know, I've never tried to play around with like VS Code or any of those types of, applications. I just always used Notepad. So.
Wow.
See, yeah, and it works. I mean, especially if
Yeah.
I find it very satisfying to do HTML, and I am very like detail oriented. I like closing my own tags. I hear someone be like, "Oh well, you know, in your code, you just open it. You don't have to close it." Like, oh, that sounds like I don't know, too free to me. No, I don't know.
Not your cup of tea.
So it's also how I order, so it's, you know what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna make a little website for my Braille group as we go through this. It's something I wanted to do for a long time. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yep. All right.
With everybody here.
Bye, the Clothes Horse and Robo and Jams and Tams. Everybody who's been with us, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We've got to go, but we'll see you next week, Thursday. Thanks for joining us.
Cool. Have a good week, guys.
All right. And we're out.